Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I am Shan with your inspirational and motivational moments. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, comment down below, and subscribe. And also hit that bell to be notified every time that I post on this channel. So guys, welcome back to the second part of 13 and Pregnant. So now I'm in high school and I am a mom. And to just go ahead and sum up my high school years, it was very difficult. It was very just rough. I dealt with a lot of anxiety. I dealt with a lot of stress. I was very depressed during my high school years. I really did not enjoy my high school years. I would say, if anything, a little bit in the 12th grade. I had a little bit of enjoyment in the 12th grade. But for the most part, high school was very rough for me. It was very tough for me to try to stay on task and being a mom and still dealing with so much drama at home, just dealing with all that stress was not easy when I have to go to school and I have to pass my class. That's not easy. Oftentimes when kids are in a stressful environment at home, it's not just that easy for a child to go to school and be able to focus, and that was the main thing. I was going through so much at home that it was hard for me to focus. And, sometimes it was just me just doing whatever I wanted to do, you know what I'm saying? Just trying to hang out with my friends or, be cool or whatever, so it was like some of me and a lot of home. But yeah, my high school years was very rough. It was very rough. Just having to deal with my stepdad just trying to sabotage me at this time. By now, he's trying to really get people to not like me. He tried his best to turn my mom against me, which he succeeded for a long time. He really did. He tried his best to turn my sister and my brother against me. So now I'm feeling like, it's me versus them. Not my sister and my brother, but my mom and my stepdad, and I remember one time, me and him, we had gotten into it really bad. And I was just so angry. I was angry with him and my mom. And because I stopped speaking to him, I missed a whole week of school. He was mad that I wouldn't speak to him. So he told my mom to not give me any bus fare to be able to take my baby to daycare so I can go to school. So I stayed home for a whole week. I'm already behind in school, and now I'm at home. I'm not doing anything when I can be in school doing my work, but because he want to be so mean and nasty to me, he wants me to stay home for a whole week and try to figure out how to get bus fare to take my son to school when I had no way of getting that because I had no income, so that was hard going back to school. And people are asking you, girl, where you been? My teacher's asking me, where have you been? And just not wanting to tell them what really happened. So I had to come up with a lie, said I had an asthma attack. But I was embarrassed to have to tell somebody, oh, well, I'm in school because I got into it with my stepdad and he told my mom not to give me any money to go to school, so I'm already behind. Now I have to really just kind of be on my game, you know what I'm saying, and get things done because I just missed a whole week of school, and now I have all this makeup work plus work, so it was very hard. It was very just difficult. I dealt with a whole lot of anxiety in school, a whole lot of stress, because I just having to go to school and I'm trying to be as normal as I can with my peers. I'm trying to be as happy as I can, and I'm trying to focus on graduating graduating, when time come, but I have to go home and I have to be a mom, and I have to deal with my mom and my stepdad, and I'm not really able to go nowhere. I feel like I'm in prison. I felt like that was their way of kind of really punishing me for a long time, pretty much the whole time I stayed with them. When I was in high school, I felt like their way of punishing me was keeping me locked up and not being able to go nowhere and hang with friends, none of that. The only time I was really able to go somewhere and get out the house is if I'm going to spend a night at a cousin's house. Other than that, I'm on lockdown, so that's hard. I, I'm locked down in the very place I just don't want to be, so it was just like no break, no breaks, no time to just woo sigh. It was just always drama. It was always just something with me and my stepdad, and the problem was with my mom. I felt like she didn't have my back a lot of times. I had to learn at a very early age how to stand up for myself and how to defend myself, you know what I'm saying, because I didn't have that with my mom. So that's just dealing with all that stuff and just trying to go to school and stay focused. It was just really hard for me. It was really, really hard for me. And it was so many times that when I thought about just giving up, I thought about dropping out of school, taking my son and just leaving, go somewhere. I don't know where we was going to go, but just leaving, just get as far away as possible from them. You know what I'm saying? I felt like I could have done better without them in my life, especially my stepdad. It was just so many times during my high school years, I felt like committing suicide. And every time I would have those thoughts, I would always think about my son. I felt like God gave me my baby at such an early age to help motivate me and help me to keep going, because I don't know. I honestly think if it wasn't for me having my baby, I think I would have, I don't think I'd be here, to be honest with you, because the pain was just so deep and I was just so tired of dealing with everything. So every time I would have those thoughts, I would always think of him. I used to always say to myself, no, don't do that, because if you do that, your mom and her husband is going to raise your baby, and you don't want that. You know what I'm saying? So I used to just talk to myself like that, especially when I had those thoughts of committing suicide. But it was very difficult. It was a very difficult time in my life. And I remember when we moved into our home, and I had gotten into it really bad with my mom over some dishes, and my mom put me out. Now we in this new area. It's about 11:30, 12 o'clock at night. I'm 17 years old. I don't know where I'm at. It's dark outside, and she puts me out. And I don't have my baby. I don't have a phone, you know, and I'm just walking around trying to figure out who house to go to call somebody to come and get me. And I ended up getting in contact with my son's dad, and they came and got him, and his family came and got me. And I went to live with my dad for a while. But before I lived with my dad, I was gone away from my mom and my baby for 2 weeks. For 2 weeks, I did not call because I felt like she really didn't care, but I knew I had to go get my son back because I did not want him there. But when I finally called my mom, she said, the house has been so much more peaceful without you, and she just immediately goes in and she say, and we're taking you to court, to take your son away from you. And we're going to say that you abandoned him. And I just immediately fell to pieces, because I'm like, you put me out, and I didn't abandon my son. I'm not a bad mom. So why would you do this to your daughter? And I knew that was her husband doing that. He has so much control over my mom. And like I said, he was able to, have our relationship rocky. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I'm going through all of this, and I'm still in, I'm in the 12th grade, and I'm going through all of this. So I was very heartbroken. I was heartbroken for a few reasons. You put me out, and you're trying to take my baby away from me. You're trying to get full custody of my baby. And you're trying to say that I'm a bad mom when that is not the case. And you know the truth, but you would allow your husband to do this to me. So that broke me to pieces, and I looked at my mom real different that day. I could not, for a long time, I could not look at her the same, because I just felt like, wow, if you'll let him do that, you'll let him do anything. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, um, a few days went by, and I finally was able to get my son because, I found out she was not able to do that. So I had to get the police to go over there to get him. And I got my son, and I moved in with my dad. Um, I was living with my dad for 6 months. And when I first moved in with him, he was cool, everything was cool, and I'm excited, and I'm saying to myself, everything is gonna be okay. Ain't got to worry about my mom and her husband no more. I don't have to worry about that drama. I'm good now, me and my dad, we're gonna have the best relationship. I'm good. I ain't got to worry about that stress. I'll be able to have fun with my friends. I don't have to worry about none of that. My dad went grocery shopping one time out of the whole 6 months I was living with him. He went shopping once, and all of a sudden he just changed. I mean, he stopped speaking to me. He stopped, talking to me. He stopped acknowledging me. He would sometimes I'd be at home. I get home before him. He would come in the house. He wouldn't even look at me. He'll go straight up the stairs, turn on his TV, lock his doors, and that's it. He wouldn't say anything to me. Sometimes he would come home with food, and he would go upstairs. He wouldn't speak. Go upstairs. He would eat his food. He wouldn't offer me anything. And once he finished, he would let his food sit in his room overnight. And so I couldn't get any, and I was broken. I was broken when I was in the 12th grade. I was very, very broken because here I am thinking that everything was going to be okay. I went from bad to worse. I didn't have my son. My son was staying with his grandmother and his auntie. And it was because my dad did not want my baby in the house. You know, I mean, I remember one day I was getting ready to go get him, and I told him, and he said, no, I don't allow kids in my house. I don't allow babies in my house. I said, well, what are you talking about? That's my child. I'm your daughter. He said, I don't allow babies in my house. No, that baby cannot come in my house. So my son had to stay with his grandmother and his auntie for a while, and I never told them that because I was very ashamed that I'm living with my dad, and I thought things would get better over here when it is actually worse. You know what I'm saying? So I was just, I was in a very dark place. I come from this place where I come from my mom's house where I'm on lockdown. I feel like I'm in prison and I can't do anything to my dad's. I can do whatever I want. I have freedom to do whatever, to get into whatever. He did not care. He did not question me. None of that. He did not care. Having to get up to go to school, having to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning just so he would drop me off at my friend's house to go to school from her house. I would be getting back in the house at 12:30, what I'm saying, at night. He just did not care, and he told me once you turn 18, you got to go, so I was just very just angry with life. I was very angry with my parents. I was very angry with God because I felt like this good God, he did not see me. He did not care about me just like my parents did. You know, he put me in this family. I felt like he cursed me, you know, because you put me in this family and they do not like me. These people don't like me. And you act like you don't see what's going on. Why aren't you? I felt like God should have punished them for all the nastiness they was doing to me, you know, but once it came time to get ready to graduate high school, because I could not pass the graduation test, I did not. I missed out on that opportunity to walk across that stage and get my high school diploma. And I felt like a failure. I felt like, once again, I let my mom down. I always wanted my mom to be really proud of me, you know, because it seemed like I could only disappoint her. So I always wanted her to be proud of me. And when I did not walk across that stage, you know, I just felt like I let my mom down once again. You know, even though me and my mom wasn't talking, I just still wanted her to be proud of me. But it wasn't until um, 2016, August of 2016, that's when I got my high school diploma. And it was just because of God's grace, because I didn't do anything. You know, when I left high school, I had all of my 12th grade. I had all of my credits. I just couldn't pass two parts of the graduation test. And every time I would try to go and, you know, take the test for my GED, it was always something that would stop me. It was just always something. And I was never able to do it, you know, but by the grace of God, I got my diploma in 2016. But it was just very rough. And, you know, I'm just so thankful for the people that was there for me. You know, oftentimes I used to think when I was younger that your family is your blood. When I found out real quick, no, people that is genuine with you, you know, that really genuinely loves you and there to help you, that's your family. It's not always about blood, because blood is not always good to you. So, you know, I had so many people that wasn't blood related that came to my rescue and helped me out, and, you know, gave me a place to live when I had to leave my dad and I didn't have my mom to go back to. You know, it was those people that helped me out so much, and none of them was my blood family, you know, but I'm so thankful to them. To this day, I'm very thankful for all the help and all the love and all the support that they gave me that I did not get from my own family, that I thought would have came from my own family. You know what I'm saying? So I'm very thankful to them. Um, but that is all for this video. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Share this video, and God loves you and I love you, and I will see you guys on the next video. And y'all take care. Be safe out there. Bye.